Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we'll be discussing whether or not Professor Severus Snape planted his potions textbook for Harry to find in the 6th installment of the series, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, this is an interesting question because, in my opinion, it can be explained away in either the affirmative or the negative. To start with, let's take a look at the affirmative. Say Snape did in fact leave his textbook for Harry to find. Why would he have done this? What motivations would he have had? Well, there's a fairly popular theory out there that, simply put, Albus Dumbledore asked him to. If you think about how hard Dumbledore worked at the beginning of the Half-Blood Prince to convince former Hogwarts potions master Horace Slughorn to return to his old position at the school, it makes you wonder what else he may have been up to. Of course, Dumbledore suspected the Slughorn had shared knowledge about the dark arts, specifically Horcruxes, with Tom Riddle when he was a student, and he wanted to uncover exactly what Horace had shared with him. And so Dumbledore, knowing how much the former Professor Slughorn loved teaching high-achieving and aspirational students, went out of his way to pick up the Harry Potter before going to offer him the teaching position. Albus basically dangled Harry like a carrot in front of the old wizard in an effort to convince him to come back to Hogwarts and teach the famous Boy Who Lived. And it worked. But what does this have to do with Snape's textbook, you may ask? Well, the theory goes that in an effort to further entrench Harry into Slughorn's inner circle of pet students, Dumbledore wanted to give Harry every advantage. And knowing how masterful a potion student Severus Snape was in his youth, perhaps Dumbledore requested that Severus leave his old textbook in a place that Harry could find. They could have even put a little spell on it so that only Harry could find it. Who knows, really? But in any case, considering the great lengths and sacrifices that Severus later made in the Half-Blood Prince at the request of Dumbledore, such as casting the killing curse at him, leaving his old textbook for Harry to find really doesn't seem like that big of an ask, does it? There's also an interaction between Snape and Harry during the novel, which seems to support the idea that Severus had intended, or at least wasn't mad about, Harry having ownership of his textbook. This is your copy of Advanced Potion Making, is it, Potter? Yes, said Harry, still breathing hard. You're quite sure of that, are you, Potter? Yes, said Harry, with a touch more defiance. This is the copy of Advanced Potion Making that you purchased from Flourish and Blots? Yes, said Harry firmly. Wouldn't Snape have recognized his old textbook and all of its annotations? So, if he wasn't in on it, why wouldn't he have punished Harry for cheating? Or, at the very least, taken the textbook away? Now, on the other hand, the idea that Snape did not purposefully leave his textbook for Harry to find could also be explained quite simply. For example, in terms of the conversation just mentioned, it's possible that Snape was feeling generous that day. Perhaps he just found out that Dumbledore was basically raising him up like a pig for slaughter. In terms of the textbook itself, however, if Harry found it in a cupboard, it's quite possible that that cupboard would not have been unlocked and open for students to peruse when Snape was head of potions. Keep in mind, Slughorn had only recently returned to the position, and could very well have come across these textbooks by accident. Textbooks that had previously been kept under lock and key by Snape. So, if Snape had still been the potions professor, it's rather unlikely that these books would have been available for student use. And with that, we've come to the end of another video. What did you think? Do you agree with me? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And, as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.